You see him, he sees you, you stop. So we see the belt.
With just over 2 months until their May 6th bout, 154-pound title holder Ricardo Mayorga and challenger Oscar De La Hoya take part in a routine photo shoot. Mayorga taunts De La Hoya, and tensions quickly mount. They call him El Matador, the baddest of boxing's bad boys.
Ricardo epitomizes what an athlete should not do.
A showman who lights up press conferences, opponents, and cigarettes. He's known as the Golden Boy, the most popular fighter of his generation.
Oscar is unique, just a different kind of animal altogether.
He's George Clooney with fists.
With the face of a matinee idol that belies his battle-tested heart.
Look at De La Hoya! He wants to fight!
Two men who used boxing to rise from humble beginnings. But the similarities end there.
Oscar is gentlemanly and polite and dignified. Ricardo Mayorga is a reckless, wild man.
Today, De La Hoya is a businessman as well as a boxer. But after a year and a half outside the ring, his business with Mayorga has become personal.
He got under my skin. That's really pumping me up to really give him a beating. I have to become world champion. I can't wait to get up there and give this guy a lesson.
Mayorga is a dangerous guy, and he can end everything for Oscar.
A loss would be devastating and would suggest it's time for Oscar De La Hoya to consider not fighting anymore.
This is the story of a boxing legend in the twilight of his career and an outspoken underdog seeking his greatest victory. This is the countdown to De La Hoya Mayorga. Inside every champion lies a unique passion. More than speed. More than agility. More than the power to persist when others relent. For Oscar De La Hoya, that passion was born in the barrios of East Los Angeles.
I started fighting at like 5 years old. My father was a fighter. My grandfather was a boxer. So I kind of had no choice but to be a fighter.
We attended elementary school together, and we had to write an essay. What we wanted to be when we grew up. Oscar wrote that he wanted to be a gold medalist, and the entire classroom laughed at him.
But De La Hoya was no joke. By age 19, he was selected for the 1992 U.S. Olympic team, representing his country and fighting to fulfill a solemn vow.
His mother was his central shrine and devotion. She had died tragically of cancer. Oscar had promised her that he would win a gold medal in her honor. He had both a childlike quality and a killer instinct in the ring. He was under pressure to win an Olympic gold medal. He delivered. The story could scarcely have been better.
While Oscar was winning gold in Barcelona, 18-year-old Ricardo Mayorga was running gangs on the streets of Managua, Nicaragua.
Mayorga grew up in just dire poverty. Dirt floor and marginal plumbing.
Aluminum roof, tin walls. We talk about poverty here in the States, and when we see poverty down in Latin America, it's a completely different world.
Bueno, cuando era más joven, peleaba barrio contra barrio y éramos como 40 contra 40 peleando. Y así, ahí salían puñales, machetes, piedras.
He was in a gang, and he's got scars to show it, and if you don't believe him, he'll show you the scar.
Cuando era vago, cuando era jefe de pandilla, y me agarraba con puñales. Y esto es con hecho, no es mentira. Yo no juego con muñeca como Oscar. Ni estoy debajo de la falda de mi mamá.
Oscar De La Hoya was a find. He was what we needed in boxing when he came on the scene.
When Oscar first turned pro, he was beating very good fighters easily, but he was really turned pro at a weight too light for him. I mean, they kept him intentionally light so he could dominate naturally smaller opponents.
De La Hoya follows with a flurry. Another left hook, and down goes Jorge Paez.
The big moment for him was when he fought in Las Vegas against a guy named Rafael Ruelas, because he wasn't supposed to win. A lot of people thought that he didn't have the heart, he was too pretty. And then he just blasted this kid away, and that was it.
De La Hoya with the punishment, and that's it. That's it. Oscar De La Hoya.
Oscar's for real. He's not a product of hype.
De La Hoya brought his unparalleled appeal and a perfect 31-0 record into a 1999 clash with fellow undefeated superstar Felix Trinidad.
An unusually vigorous touching of gloves between two fighters who seem to like each other less and less every day.
Top of Oscar's career, the first 7 rounds against Felix Trinidad. He walks into the ring against Trinidad in his biggest fight ever, and he demonstrates clear and impeccable technical superiority over another great fighter.
Gotta be a tremendous scoring round for Oscar De La Hoya.
And he is doing magical things.
Oscar popping Trinidad with a 4-punch combination, stepping forward, going to the body. Outclass is too big a word for what's happening here.
And then, midway through the 9th round, for reasons unknown, he just went on his bicycle.
Oscar is just running now. He's not fighting back at all.
After the 10th round, my corner tells me, you have the fight won.
Box the next 2 rounds.
That's all what you need. 2 more rounds. Okay? That's it. And we go home.
So I didn't let him hit me, what they told me to do.
Harold Letterman, how do you have it going into the last frame?
The question is, can you win a fight running away?
And do I regret it? I personally regret it because it was a big mistake.
That mistake would cost De La Hoya the fight, as Trinidad won a controversial majority decision.
As long as people talk about the fight, you'll be able to make a strong argument that Oscar won the fight, because numerically, if you win the first 7 rounds, you've won the fight. And it's still hard for me to find somebody who will insist to me that they don't think Oscar won the first 7 rounds of the fight.
And then there are 120 more fucking punches, man. Shit! I gave him a boxing lesson, man. What the fuck is going on? Huh?
Critics debated the outcome, but there was no denying one fact. The fight generated over $90 million worldwide. De La Hoya was now the biggest financial attraction in non-heavyweight history. Meanwhile, a former gang leader was fighting for meal money at tiny club venues throughout Central America.
Ricardo Mayorga.
For his first 10 or 12 fights, there's very little out there. Everybody says he was an entertaining fighter, but he fought in these small venues. It was really lucky that he had gotten discovered.
In January 2003, Mayorga challenged Vernon Forrest for the welterweight title.
That was a good left hook by Mayorga.
Now Forrest comes back with his left hook, and Mayorga trades punches with him, and they're going to have a war. This is not the fight that Vernon Forrest wanted.
Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. You're backing up. Okay? Do not back up on this man.
Baited into a brawl, a reeling Forrest then fell into a vintage Mayorga trap.
Forrest had an absolutely clean shot at this guy. I mean, just hands down, hit me with your best shot, and Mayorga didn't move.
Mayorga says, come on, bring me more.
It completely had the desired effect, which is it got in Vernon Forrest's head. He was thinking, how am I going to take this guy out?
He decided to duke it out with Mayorga in order to prove that he could hit as hard as Mayorga. Guess what? He couldn't.
Vernon wobbling on his feet as he threw the right, and he goes down in the face of a crushing right cross.
And that time he was seriously hurt.
Yeah, look at the wobbling in Vernon Forrest. Marty Jenkins stops the fight.
As much as Vernon wanted to say that Ricardo didn't get under his skin, I'm sure he did. He's relentless. To the degree that Oscar likes to project a certain dignity, he's a perfect target for somebody like Ricardo Mayorga. He'll do everything imaginable to try to get under Oscar's skin. He wants confrontations. He wants Oscar to trade with him. That's going to give him the best shot of landing something big.
I have to prove something that I can stay in there and bang with this guy. He got under my skin. I'm glad he did because that's pumping me up to really give him a beating. Just keep on going. Keep talking as much as you want. Get under my skin as much as you want because you're just throwing fuel to the flame.
There was a time when that flame was nearly extinguished. A year after the Trinidad loss, Shane Mosley dealt De La Hoya his second career defeat. Disheartened, he explored other interests, far removed from the ring. While De La Hoya's musical detour garnered him a Latin Grammy nomination, he found no such acclaim in boxing.
People kind of felt that he was on the downward end of his career, and he had fought guys like Arturo Gatti, Javier Castillejo.
It's deteriorating into target practice for De La Hoya.
People expected him to beat those guys, but they said, well, Oscar doesn't want to fight anybody hard anymore. He doesn't have it anymore. So when he fought Fernando Vargas, they said, wow, he's going to face somebody who's stronger or seemingly the meanest guy in California.
Both from Southern California, Fernando from Oxnard, Oscar from East Los Angeles. Vargas had been calling him out for many years.
You're not fighting Gotti.
I know where. I know where.
The press conference was held in Los Angeles. Everybody was there. And Fernando challenged his manhood, challenged his ethnicity, challenged everything.
Whatever it is between these two, they've been pointing towards this moment for years.
It was a fierce fight. Vargas in the first round attacked him, had him on the defensive almost immediately.
Now Vargas lands a big left hook counter upstairs. Drives De La Hoya into the rope. De La Hoya close to being knocked down there.
He's in against somebody who is bigger, stronger, and it's clear if Vargas lands a clean shot, he can knock Oscar out.
But De La Hoya rallied. Vargas's tough guy talk was no match for a fighter who could walk the walk.
Vargas on another rocket left hook.
I kind of lose it in calling the climax of the De La Hoya Vargas fight because the story was crystallizing in such a graphic way.
This would be the most satisfying moment of Oscar De La Hoya's career. If he could make Fernando Vargas eat his words, if he could knock him out, and he does. Oscar De La Hoya has the most satisfying, the most emotional win of his whole career.
Oscar was able to wear down Vargas. Use that as a barometer. Will he be able to wear down Mayorga?
In October 2004, Felix Trinidad returned from a 2-year layoff to face a typically flamboyant and fearless Mayorga.
He stepped in there with Trinidad, and he did not fight a defensive fight against Felix Trinidad.
Mayorga took tremendous punishment from a really big puncher in Trinidad. It took a lot of hard work for Trinidad to chop him down.
Trinidad almost knocked his head off his shoulders. He still didn't get it.
The accuracy with power punches is something amazing to behold.
You may have to kill him to beat him.
Mayorga's pride kept them standing up to those shots.
Pride alone was not enough. The fight was stopped in the 8th round.
And Steve Smoger is going to stop the fight.
Very smart call. Stop
a
the fight.
sensational knockout.
What could have been a defining moment in his career turned out to be defining, but not in the way that he wanted.
De La Hoya faced his own moment of truth in his middleweight debut. He prepared to face the unheralded Felix Sturm while handling other fighters as president of Golden Boy Promotions.
Once Oscar began taking a more vigorous role in the promoting field, it seemed that it did detract from his boxing.
Roy Jones, I think that's the softest body I've ever seen Oscar De La Hoya bring into the ring.
When Oscar appeared in that fight, it looked like he had been eating a lot of Mexican food. He had said he was in shape, but he wasn't. And when he finally entered the ring and people saw that extra weight on him, they'd never seen him like that.
Don't get discouraged, man. Relax.
Can't move.
Sturm's the kind of guy of the old days, he would have just polished off.
He fought his heart out, but he was flat. He was flat. He barely won that fight.
If De La Hoya's win over Felix Sturm was lackluster, his next bout promised to be anything but. In September 2004, the refocused De La Hoya squared off with undisputed middleweight champion Bernard Hopkins.
I and many others didn't think Oscar belonged in the ring with Bernard in the first place. Bernard was bigger, stronger, a true middleweight.
Oscar De La Hoya will have to fight a perfect fight to win tonight.
After the first 3 rounds, De La Hoya was ahead on every scorecard.
But Oscar De La Hoya is fighting the fight that he wants more than Hopkins is right now.
He was making a better effort than many of us anticipated.
But going into the 9th round, Hopkins had established control of the fight.
The jab's gonna get the job done. That's my round. All right? That's my round. Counter with the jab, baby. All right.
Hopkins didn't seek and destroy De La Hoya, but De La Hoya waited. He was very tentative. He was a guy that didn't do much in that fight. He didn't act like a guy that had to do this anymore. And finally, Hopkins jumped in and hit him a left hook in the body.
And down goes De La Hoya on a body punch by Hopkins. And he's not going to make it up.
When De La Hoya went down, it's totally unexpected. To watch him there was total, almost quiet. The quiet wasn't for Hopkins and his lethal liver shot. The quiet was watching Oscar on the floor, gasping for breath.
It was a perfect punch right to the liver. And any fighter knows that when you get hit with one of those punches, it paralyzes you. I couldn't get up. I just couldn't get up.
When he went down with a body punch, people said, well, he was a quitter. He went down because he couldn't take it. He didn't want to do it again.
Fighters insist to me, and I believe them, that if you get caught perfectly on the liver, you are numb from the waist down for quite a long period of time.
He banged his hand on the canvas. Now, if he banged his hand on the canvas and he could make that kind of physical activity, couldn't he have gotten up? I don't know.
Was it a punch unlike anything you ever felt before because he was bigger, or did it just happen to hit you in a vulnerable spot?
He got me right on the button. I tried, believe me, I tried getting up. I couldn't do it. I couldn't, and believe me, I have what it takes to get up, and he caught me right on the button.
All we remember is him lying on the floor from a body shot from Bernard Hopkins. And he's going to fight Mayorga to try to erase that picture.
I have to become world champion again. It's in me. I'm hungry for it. And it has to be against the toughest fighter out there. And so that's why we picked Mayorga. This guy has the dirtiest mouth I've ever heard. Every press conference we did, I mean, just saying absurd things.
Dile a tu mujer que te dé huevo en la mañana para que te pares a pelear conmigo. No te vayas a tirar como cuando te tiraste con Bernajoki, playo.
No sabes ni representar tu raza, maricón. Por eso, mira, todos los latinos van a estar conmigo.
He started talking bad about Oscar's family. That really, really pissed Oscar off.
Tú le faltaste respeto a 2 cosas que yo amo. 2 cosas. Ayer dijiste algo de mi esposa.
Sí.
Y ahora mencionaste a mi raza. Y con eso no se juega. Y te voy a noquear. Mayo 6 te voy a noquear.
While De La Hoya's fire has clearly been stoked, Mayorga's passion is just as intense.
I'll just use one example. It's about 7 in the morning, and he's calling us to go to the gym. That's unheard of with him. He wants this one bad. He really wants this one bad. He wants not only to beat Oscar, he wants to destroy him.
Como el tipo me cae tan mal, yo pelearía hasta gratis con él. No le quiero ganar, a él no lo quiero noquear. A él lo quiero matar, parándole el corazón con mi derecha.
De La Hoya is more beatable than he's ever been. I think it has to be a little bit more than just being angry at the guy because he called you a couple of names. You better really have the appetite.
Well, it's a dangerous fight for De La Hoya. There's no question about it. You don't know after all this time how he's going to deal with getting hit.
Oscar has this great legacy in boxing, and to lose to Mayorga, he won't be able to recover.
A loss would be devastating. Losing to a reckless, wild man like Ricardo Mayorga would be the most damaging loss of his career and would suggest it's time for Oscar De La Hoya to consider not fighting anymore.